Greetings and salutation, comic fam. This is Comic Book Hangover, and once again, here's my weekly haul, weekly review video. I do this every week, and this is the second week of 2022. Already shaping up to be a great year for comic books. I know next week Marvel's got some major number ones and some major books coming out, including the new She-Hulk #1, which I'm very much looking forward to. I'm very curious about it. You know, I'm always been a fan of She-Hulk. I've always thought she was an interesting and fun character. She's had series back in the 90s. She had a series that Dan Slott had written before he went weird. Those were really good. The Charles Soule series I didn't really much care for. I didn't like the writing style or the art, so I wound up dropping that. But this new series that's coming out is supposed to be a back-to-basics She-Hulk, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Although the writer Rainbow something or other, I'm not at all familiar with her. I have no idea who she is. I've never read anything written by her, but I'm still very curious about her. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this book is, in fact, back to basics. So that aside, let's talk about some of the books that I picked up last week, starting with the Noctera Blacktop Bill Special. Love this cover. It's an amazing cover. And, you know, anybody who's been reading Noctera knows that Blacktop Bill is quite a twisted character. He's dark, he's evil, he's sadistic, he's everything that you look for in a good sociopath. And this series here, I loved how the special, it's the origin of Blacktop Bill without giving away everything, and I like that. There's certain things about some characters, especially characters like Blacktop Bill, that I like to have left to the imagination. We don't need to have every little bit of information about their life. And I like how there's, like, the first half of this story was really kind of a red herring. It kind of led you into a direction, and then it said, you know what, we're not going that way, we're going over here. And they did a really good job with changing that up, and I really liked it. And just a little bits of information about Bill, who he was and how he became the way he is, that they give here was really good. It's just a very well done, well written, well drawn, great. I mean, if you're a fan of the Noctera series, I definitely recommend it. If you're a fan of Blacktop Bill, I can't recommend it enough. I mean, they did a really good job giving you just a little bit about who he is and what makes him the way he is without giving away everything. So there's still some mystery there, which I think we need. I mean, there's too many times where we'll get a great new character, and he or she is fascinating, just tremendous, and then suddenly they just give away the entire origin, and we end up with something like Punchline, where the origin is just so much of a letdown, and then it takes the character into a completely different direction, and it's just not as interesting. So I really like the way they did that. Next up is going to be Hellcop #3. You know what? I think I'm going to add this. I don't know if this is an ongoing or miniseries. Image is one of those publishers where they have a real hard time letting us know if something is a miniseries or an ongoing series. But regardless, I'm really liking this book. It's really become something of I don't really read any books like this at the moment. So, I mean, we still have Virgil. He's still in the dimension that is the equivalent to the biblical hell, with all of the hellfire and brimstone. There's demonic type characters there. There's all kinds of cool characters there, and he's trying to solve a murder that he's been accused of. So it's a nice little murder mystery with just enough of a supernatural bent to it to keep it interesting. So it's a great read. It's a lot of fun. I know there's some controversy over this particular issue because the publisher, the head guy of Shadowline, Jim Valentino, I think. Yeah, Jim Valentino. Image of this whole thing where they let some of the pencil pushers, some of the desk jockeys, basically there, unionize. And regardless of what your opinion of that, for or against, is, one of the things that these people who really aren't in the creative end of the comics industry, one of the things they wanted to do is have the ability to basically cancel a series if they don't like it. They gave this big long list of, if the writer or artist of a series has been accused of racism, sexism, bigotry, all this sort of stuff, and they want to have the right to cancel that series and not work with them through Image until they feel that the accused has apologized enough or has done enough to make up for their supposed crimes. There's nothing in there that says, what happens if it's a false accusation, which unfortunately does happen. It just says, if you're accused, we want to cancel the book and then be done with it. Because anybody, looking at the way things have gone, even if that person does apologize, even that person does make amends for it, it's not going to be enough for these people. So I think that is part of it. They're trying to sort of protect their talent. And honestly, I don't. My own personal opinion, I don't think these people should have that right. They should not have that much power over what books we read. Now, there's a lot of creators that I don't like. I don't agree with their politics. And essentially that's what it comes down to, is they want the ability to cancel a series if they don't agree with the creator's politics. That's what it boils down to. Don't let, put aside any personal feelings. If you look at it, brass tacks, bottom line, that's what it is. It's all politics. They don't want people who have a certain way of thinking working with Image. They want to have that say. And honestly, I don't think that's a very good idea, because, comic books are supposed to be for everybody. And, recent years, we've gone to one end of the political spectrum more than the other. And that end has always been trashed in the other side. And that's not right. That's not what comic books, that's not what the industry, that's not what the fan base, that's not what we comic fans are supposed to be about. We're supposed to be above all that. And I really wish we would get to it. But, we've got people like, these people who want to unionize. It's fine if they want to unionize, but when they start saying we want the power to dictate what books get published based on our political way of thinking, that's wrong. That's just flat out wrong. But anyway, moving on. I didn't mean to go off on a tirade there, but it's just, there's just things that I don't know. It probably doesn't belong here on my channel. But anyway, last up from last week is going to be Basilisk Book 6, Issue 6. This series has been so much fun. I'm not sure if I really want this to be an ongoing or a miniseries, because it's one of those concepts that I don't think long-term would work. It's such a unique and interesting idea that it's, these people, if I remember from early issues, they sort of broke out of a lab, and each one has a different ability that's kind of based on some sort of mythology. And, they're just, there's a group that's just killing people. They're just twisted people, and there's one of them who doesn't like doing that. That just wants to just go off and be alone. And it's kind of a revenge tale, a little bit of revenge in there as well. And it's just a lot of fun. It's so much fun. It's such an interesting idea. Great characters, a great art. I mean, the art in this series. That's why I like doing it this way, because I can really show off some of the stuff that's in these books. I mean, there's some really, really great art in this series, and it's just so much fun, so well done. Basilisk, I mean, if you're looking for something different, and it's from Boom Studios, and Boom, they do a lot of, they're sort of, Boom is what IDW used to be like, where they would just put out a whole bunch of different books, and what works, what doesn't, and they do a really good job just putting out so many great books. I mean, I get Basilisk and I get Power Rangers, two very different concepts. They work together really well. So, but anyway, that's it. Basilisk, great read, amazing book. Hellcop has been a lot of fun. It's just getting started. It's issue 3 is out. So much fun. Great books that came out last week. For books that came out this week, before I jump into that, of course, if you're enjoying what I'm doing, my soapbox moments aside, if you enjoy what I'm doing here, go ahead and hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Hit that notification button. I am working on trying to do some different stuff, kind of getting away from just talking about, the new books. I want to, get into, as you can see, I've got, these boxes here. There's 5 of these across, 4 down. So there's books there. There's books behind this. There's books over here. Just boxes and boxes of books. I got so many, I could do a lot of stuff. So I just got to find the time for it. But anyway, there we go. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, share the videos if you're enjoying what I'm doing. thank you very much for your continued support, and new subscribers, thank you for joining us here. Let's move on to the books that I picked up this week, and as always, no particular order. So we're going to start off with Stillwater, number 12. Seems like it should be further along. This series is so much fun. This is an amazing series. So if you haven't read it, definitely pick up the trades. There should be at least one trade. This should wrap up for the second trade that should be out soon. But a great series. Chip Zdarsky is doing a great job. I never read his Daredevil, but I know he's a great writer, and he seems to be a pretty cool guy as well. Next one, this one had multiple variant covers. This is the only one that I really liked. Scorched, number 1. May not buy this as a regular series, but I like the cover, and it's a neat idea. The whole idea of a team of spawns. So, what the heck? Why not? Let's jump on it. Next one is going to be Mighty Morphin, number 15, with a great Zed versus Zordon cover there. Love that. Should see if I can find the Virgin variant for that, because that's a great cover. Speaking of variants, Death of Doctor Strange Bloodstone, one-shot. Now this one here, there was another variant that was one of those character design variants, because this whole thing here is it introduces yet another sibling of Elsa Bloodstone. It was hot to trot over Lila, or whatever her name is. Myself, I grabbed this cover, and I grabbed the regular cover, because I'm here for Elsa. I don't care about Cullen. I don't care about the sister. I want to see more Elsa Bloodstone. She's great. And what I really liked about this, I did actually get to read this. I liked the idea that in here, there's moments in here where she swears. And when she was in Next Wave, when that book was going on, if you've not read Next Wave, you got to read that. But when the characters would swear in Next Wave, their way of censoring it was a series of skull and crossbones in the word balloon. They did that here. So I don't know if that's an ongoing thing for her in other appearances, but in this, when she swears, they have that skull and crossbones. So a little nod to Next Wave, which is still one of my favorite books. It's been years since it's been gone, but a great series. The last couple of books I picked up, of course, Darkhawk, number 5. Really sad to see this series end. I mean, it's been a great run. It's been a great series. I'm really hoping that we'll get more with this character. And the last one I picked up is the Darkhawk, one of the Darkhawk variants that my LCS had, and I had to have this one. This is an homage cover to an Iron Man War Machine cover, and they actually had this War Machine book down there, so I was able to do a side-by-side comparison. And Ron Lim knocked it out of the park. He did an amazing job. So, and other than that, I got the Marvel 2022 calendar. These should be free at your LCS. Each one for each month. I mean, they'll have the advertisements for all the nonsense that Marvel's got coming out this year. But then every month they're going to have, you get a little picture of a comic character, and you get your little calendar down below. So it's pretty cool. I usually I'll put that up like I did the 2021 calendar. I'll put it up, have it set for January. Then the next time I look at it, it's going to be May. I put them up and I always forget about them. But anyway, that's it. That's what I got. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope everybody else had a great new comic book week this week. There are some great books on next week. We're really getting some books. There's over 200 different books coming out next week, so there's going to be a lot of them. Looking at the list, I'm getting at least 10 books. So it's been a while since I've had that many, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So next week's video might be a little bit longer than this one, but I hope everybody had a great new comic book day. We're finally getting back into the swing of things. There's been, we've had a few hiccups here and there, and I'm hoping that this whole paper shortage thing and these delays of books finally comes to an end, and we can finally get our books out when they're solicited, when they're supposed to be. But that's it. Everybody, thanks for watching. Have a great week, and we'll see everybody next week with another weekly haul, weekly review video. See ya.